Hey, this is Westy from the rock and roll band Pavement, and you're listening to The Countdown.
Hey, it's JD here, back for another episode of our Top 50 Countdown, covering seminal indie rock band Pavement. Week over week, we're going to count down the 50 essential Pavement tracks that you selected with your very own top 20 ballads. I then tabulated the results using an advanced abacus and some test tubes. I tabulated the results using complex algebra and an advanced abacus. I, of course, tabulated the results using an advanced abacus and my fingers and toes. I then tabulated the results using an advanced abacus and, well, frankly, a calculator. I tabulated the results using advanced mathematics and an abacus I found somewhere in a junk pile. I then tabulated the results using an abacus and, strangely, a change counter. I tabulated the results using an advanced abacus and my toes. I tabulated the results using an advanced abacus and some spilled toothpicks on the floor. I then tabulated the results using an abacus and, strangely, a wizard's hat. I then tabulated the results using an abacus and 6 boxes of M&Ms. I then tabulated the results using an abacus and a 6-pack. Okay, there were only 4 left, but I was thirsty. I tabulated the results using an abacus and a small group of children in the 4th grade. I then tabulated the results using an abacus and a daisy that I pulled the petals from. I then tabulated the results using an abacus and 10 metric rulers and a box of rat poison. I then tabulated the results using an abacus and a pool cue I broke over my knee in a moment of rage. I then tabulated the results using an abacus, a bicycle pump, lotion, and some biscuits for Kevin, my hallmate from uni. I then tabulated the results using an abacus and gluten. Just joking, there's absolutely no gluten. 0. I then tabulated the results using an abacus and an old pair of socks. You know, the kind that have toes in them? I then tabulated the results using an abacus and 28 grams of the best weed you've ever smoked, along with some drifter named Larry. I then tabulated the results using an abacus and all my fingers on my left hand except for my thumb. Fuck you, thumb. I then tabulated the results using an abacus and the kid from The Sixth Sense. Wait a minute. Am I dead? I then tabulated the results using an abacus and some fucker named Gene. I then tabulated the results using an abacus and a girl named Shannon that might have played bass in an indie rock band. Sigh. I then tabulated the results using an abacus and a bong made out of a kumquat. I then tabulated the results using an abacus and a bag full of M&Ms with the brown ones removed, a la Van Halen. I then tabulated the results using an abacus and a woman named Helen, who frankly looked kind of lost. I then tabulated the results using an abacus and the stabby guy from Friday the 13th. I then tabulated the results using an abacus and an air fryer. Seriously, is there anything this machine doesn't do? I then tabulated the results using an abacus and speed. Just speed. I then tabulated the results using an abacus, 6 taquitos, and a bottle of Bismol. I then tabulated the results using an abacus, a wet towel, and some scrawny kid from 10th grade gym class. I then tabulated the results using an abacus and a 4-slice toaster I had fashioned into a time machine. Now I pulled the blinds of the time curtain. Yesterday is totally getting a do-over. I then tabulated the results using an abacus and a motorcycle and sidecar driven by an orangutan. I then tabulated the results using an abacus and an Abacus for Dummies book. I then tabulated the results using an abacus and a calculator watch operated by the power of friendship. I then tabulated the results using an abacus and 2 marshmallows shaped like mushrooms. Also, they were actual mushrooms. I tabulated the results using an abacus and a goat with an extra leg. Don't ask. I then tabulated the results using an abacus and a tall fat guy wearing a David Byrne suit. And let me tell you, it fit like a glove. I then tabulated the results using an abacus and 3 bears. One that couldn't count, one that counted too quickly, and one that was just right. I then tabulated the results using an abacus and an egg beater I somehow customed into a bomb. I then tabulated the results using an abacus, 3 shots of Jameson. Okay, it was 4. Okay, they were doubles. Okay, I don't remember anything. I then tabulated the results using an abacus and my proctologist, though he only offered 1 hand for counting on. I then tabulated the results using an abacus and 2 of every animal on Earth, except those moles with the grossest fuck starfish mouths. I then tabulated the results using an abacus and a 5'3" pole vaulter from Toadsuck, Arkansas. I then tabulated the results using an abacus, a ball of Moroccan hash, and 2 knives on the burner. I then tabulated the results using an abacus, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. That's 10 goddamn birds. I nearly lost my shirt in birdseed. I then tabulated the results using an abacus and a frog that, when kissed, turns into an even bigger abacus. I then tabulated the results using an abacus and a VHS box set of Unsolved Mysteries, where every episode now ends with Robert Stack scolding me personally for not tabulating fast. Wash your goddamn hands! Thanks for listening to Meeting Malcolmus, a pavement podcast, where we count down the top 50 pavement tracks, as selected by you. If you've got questions or concerns, please shoot me an email, jd@meetingmalcolmus.com.